talk about stupid. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Yes, I understand. It is December. Yes, I understand the Chicago Bears are 4-8. Yes, I understand that the Chicago Bears are out of the playoff race, or are they? Every losing team in the NFL so far this season has a negative point differential besides the Chicago Bears, meaning they are not keeping pace with the teams that are beating with them, right? The Chicago Bears currently have a +1 score differential, even though despite them being 4-8 this season. They have fired their offensive coordinator. They have fired their head coach in the last 2 weeks, making Thomas Brown Jr. their intern head coach. He goes from passing game coordinator to offensive coordinator to intern head coach. So guys, fact or crap? If the Chicago Bears make the playoffs, they will be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC playoffs. So when you look at the Chicago Bears, right now, they're sitting 14th in the NFC playoff race. They're behind the Saints. They're behind the Cowboys. They're behind the 49ers, just to name a few. They have less than a 1% chance to make the playoffs as of today. But there is still a chance. There's still a 1% chance. Now, the Bears can make the playoffs if they do these particular things. The Bears have lost 6 straight games, communicating a locker room of mutiny, right? Their last five opponents have a winning percentage of 70%. They have the second toughest remaining schedule in the league. Obviously, it would take a real psycho like myself to figure out how dead end of the road this is, but there still is a chance. I'm not a Chicago Bears fan, but there is still a chance. So here's how the Chicago Bears can make the playoffs. The Bears right now have a 1% chance to make the playoffs according to the NYT playoff predictor. Pretty low, right? Pretty low, but there still is a chance. The Bears losing to the Commanders, Packers, and Vikings and Lions games in the fashion they did were low odds that happened. So what must happen with this 1% chance to cash in? Obviously, the Bears need to get out and win. They need to go 9-8 on the season. If they beat the 49ers, they cannot be eliminated this weekend no matter what. So step number 1, beating the San Francisco 49ers. Then obviously it gets a little dicier. Then things need to start to pile up. The dominoes need to fall in the right direction. One of these following things need to happen. The Packers need to lose out in their 3 remaining games versus the non-Bears versus the Seahawks, Saints, and Minnesota. Or the Commanders need to lose out to the Saints, Philly, Atlanta, and Dallas. Or the Commanders need to lose 3 of the 4, and one of them have to be the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers to finish second in the NFC West at a 9-8 record with the conference record of 7-5 or 6-6. Or the Cowboys need to go 4-1, and the Commanders need to lose the rest of 3 of their games, and losing to the Eagles or the Cowboys, which will ultimately eliminate the Commanders as a 3rd team in their division or in the wild card. Next up, they also need the following to happen. At least 3 more losses for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers play the Vegas Raiders, the Chargers, the Cowboys, Carolinas, and Saints. Or 2 NFC losses if the Cowboys finish 9-8 and second in the NFC East. Or the Commanders need to lose out, or the Bucs need to lose twice if the Panthers/Saints, if the Panthers and Saints win out if the Bucs out if the Bears win over the strength of schedule tiebreaker. Guys, I went into this. I went into this and I really don't want to look at it. But basically, there's a chance. Basically, every team ahead of them needs to lose out and they need to win out. Basically, what it comes down to. There's a chance. There's a chance. 1%, but there's a chance. But there's such thing as getting hot at the right time. There is such thing as the NFL of getting hot at the right time. And when you look at teams like the Chicago Bears that have lost the way they lost, Hail Mary to the Commanders, forget to call it a timeout versus the Detroit Lions, blocked field goal versus the Green Bay Packers. This is a team that if they get rolling, they can start piling up some wins pretty quickly. New York Giants come to mind. They didn't have to win 4 of their last 5 to get into the playoffs. But I mean, boom, they win the 2nd Super Bowl with Eli Manning. Guys, the most dangerous team in the NFL is a confident team. The most dangerous team in the NFL is a hot team. The most dangerous team in the NFL is a team that is peaking at the right time. And if the Bears make the playoffs, that tells you that they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. They're peaking at the right time, and they're dangerous. They're confident in themselves. So, guys, fact or crap. If the Chicago Bears make the playoffs, they're the most dangerous team in the NFL. And the NFC playoffs. This is going to be a fact. This is going to be a fact. Not only would they get in out of a 1% odds, they are basically counted out. Let's just be honest. But look who they play. A 70% winning percentage of the teams that they play left. 70%. Think about that. How can you not like that? How can you not like that? John says, and they'll play a spoiler alert against the Packers. No, they won't. Debunk the Junk says the earth would have to split open and swallow about 7 teams for the Bears to make it. It could happen. It could happen. John says crap. Laura says crap. Josh says they won't make the playoffs this season. Next season, they'll be a dangerous team for sure. We've heard this before, Josh. Like, I know it's any given Sunday, next man up, next year this, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I get it, and I love you for it, but come on. Come on. It's the Chicago freaking Bears, baby. This season, this year, Caleb Williams was the baby Buddha. This season, Matt Eberflus was taking him to the moon, baby. This season, that team was supposed to be top 10. Now, shut him down, let him down. DMX, right? The simple fact of the matter is that the Chicago Bears are Chicago Bears. Now, if they do make it, I'm going to be riding that train. I'm just going to be honest. If the Chicago Bears win this week for the San Francisco 49ers, they jump into a 5%. And then if the Packers lose, and the Commanders lose, and the Saints lose, and the Cowboys lose, that jumps up to a 10% chance. Every time they win, it gets a little 1% better. Like I tell my kids, 1% better, 1% better, 1% better. That's all it takes, baby. 1% better. But it is crap. It is crap. Even if the Chicago Bears make the playoffs, which they won't, even if they do, they would have to play the Eagles, and the Eagles are whooping that ass. Let's say they get past the Eagles somehow, some way. Then they got to play the Detroit Lions. They probably going to whoop that ass. Oh, you forgot to call your timeout? Well, take them all in the first quarter, baby.